very educational, but then you turn around and, like you said, it's like, hello, give me a car now. But it's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the sudden shift there to the personal acquisition of things.
And I was thinking, guys, that stuff isn't going to matter when it's all over and done with, man. You got to figure something else better, Remote viewing, I'm very interested in that whole idea. Does that kind of go along with the concepts of everyone being a psychic? Everyone has the power to do that kind of thing?
Sure, and that actually is well trained. Or well documented and disciplined, and can be a trained skill. And basically, what they do is they teach you how to get all the clutter out of your brain, such that your innate abilities are able to be manifest, or to be able to be used as tools. And I think that they could probably do it with almost anyone. Of course, there are going to be people that, as with any activity, are just born to it. The Olympic athlete kind of guys, right?
Right.
But everybody can throw a baseball.
True. And here comes the healthy skepticism again, because to me what healthy skepticism is it means you go into it neutral, and you say, okay, I'm looking at this, I don't understand it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work or it doesn't exist or it isn't real. And the thing with remote viewing was Art Bell had shows on it, and that's when I first heard about it. And, of course, I listened to it a little bit skeptically. I was like, well, this sounds really interesting, but through this show I've met people that do it. And the weird thing is when you find out and you see that there is a government facility that's done testing, and they're miles and miles, hundreds of miles apart in different states, and these people are communicating, and they're going from one location to another, telling you what's there. That really starts to get into the point where I go, okay, guys,
this is at least practical.
Yeah.
So regardless of what we think about how it's actually occurring, I agree with you.
I still don't know how the heck it's happening, but I tell you what, I think it is happening.
Well, we know that the government is still continuing the program, because anything they officially deny is undoubtedly true. And so they deny that they have the program going and said that, no, we canceled it, it was a waste of money. No, I don't think so.
It is a fascinating idea. I don't know. Again, some people used to think of it as, a part of you leaving your body and physically flying there, and I know that's probably how they picture it to get it to happen, but...
my particular metaphor or understanding of how the universe works is based on the understanding that matter does not exist. The idea of the atom as being a nucleus and of neutrons and protons and electrons in a organized fashion is merely an understanding. It's an abstraction that we put on universe so that we can make chemistry work and this kind of thing. They do not exist the way that you've been told in school, where you're sold the idea that these are like little micro-miniature rocks whizzling around each other with magnetic charge, that they actually are solid matter. So if you look at things from the Taoist or the Hindu view or Asian or Zoroastrian or any number of different approaches prior to Western Pythagorean thought that mostly has been overtaken by organized, power-loving individuals who have directed a dumbing down of our educational system, you're going to find that the universe, in fact, is energetic, and that the E equals MC squared equation can be deconstructed to show that energy comes in to create matter. But basically, the matter is an illusion, and we are nothing but energetic beings. And so, for instance, you're told as a school kid that the electron goes whizzing around as fast as it can around this little nucleus, and that each cell you've got is composed of bazillions of these little whizzing around atoms, and each part of your body is composed of tens of millions of cells. So basically, they're letting loose the idea that, and you just don't catch on to it because they want you to think of the atom as a little miniature rock. But you're really just these little energetic vortices, if you will, called tori, or torus for an individual. And these torus effects can be thought of as what we represent as the atom. But the atom is not really inexistent. The only reason we have the idea of electrons in a circular motion around the nucleus of an atom is because they appear to be there when we look to measure them. But if we don't look for them, they're not there. This is one of the duality problems, one of the paradox problems of quantum physics. But an easier way to think of it is this. 22 trillion times a second, an energetic pulse leaves the center of the universe. It travels instantly with no time involved at all to the center of every galaxy. And instantly from the center of every galaxy, it travels to every object within that galaxy at the center of it. So all the suns, all the meteors, everything receives this burst of a pulse in an instantaneous fashion from the center of the galaxy. And we are part of that galaxy, and we receive this pulse. So if you can relieve your mind of the idea of matter existing, then things like remote viewing, telepathy, and all this sort of stuff become ever so much easier to understand, because we're an energetic being merely transmitting energy or picking up on some other energy wave from some other place. So it's kind of like, in your business, I'm sure you've heard of the concept of the dynamic antenna that participates in the receiving of the signal through an energetic approach, and we're just sort of like dynamic antenna.
Wow.
Make sense?
Yeah, exactly. It does blow your mind when you think about it, and especially lately I've had a couple of guests on that were talking about how they had taken Einstein's theory, the E equals mc squared.
The relativity, correct, yeah.
Right, and they've been playing with it because they kind of said exactly what you said, that there is a paradox in the physics world that is really kind of flipped everyone on their ear, because the smarter they get, the more they see the paradox, and they're learning about time travel because of this.
Sure, it all makes sense. And yet, curiously, if you go back and read the Vedas or the Mahabharata or any of this ancient Vedic literature, and even some of the Taoist literature like the Hui Ming Ching and some of their guides to meditation, then they are clearly discussing what it is like to live as an energetic being in an illusionary world of matter.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is not a new idea. These ideas go back thousands of years.
I noticed this too, and tell me if I'm mistaken. It seems like as human beings, throughout time, we were constantly moving forward and evolving, and like you said, people would find these teachings of some of the Asian cultures and then bring them up and kind of claim them as their own, and this has been going on for years.
Rework them, yep.
Exactly.
Yep. I think I have evidence in my work that it's causing some consternation among the powers that be, who've gone to a great deal of trouble to dumb us down to be their effective slaves.
I think that's what I was trying to get at. I don't. The people I was just mentioning that have been on the show that are trying to break through that wall into time travel, and there are so many people that are brilliant, and it seems just like what you said, that the masses, however, are being dumbed down to the point that they're not able to comprehend what's going on.
And I think actually that you're correct there, but there is a positive sign, I believe, in the sense that the mass of humans, and our work has pointed out that a number of them are going to go and become absolutely mentally crazy over the course of this next year. They'll just be driving along, and all of a sudden their brains will short out because they can't accept the reality of the manifesting universe against their disposed idea of that universe itself. There's going to be a conflict, and they are in a situation of where, for instance, the U.S. dollar dies, and it's going to die over the course of the next year, and it'll be done dying, and we won't use the dollar after November 2nd, 2010. Okay, well, a lot of people are going to find that extremely hard to accept, because they've lived their whole life and invested all their energy in everything in producing and attempting to gain and hoard dollars, and also digidollars, and all these will go away and just disappear, and they will have no recompense, and so their minds are just going to go and short out, and there's going to be a lot of nasty results as a result from this.
It's really weird that you say that too, because just on the last show I was making a little comment, and it always, you kind of see it coming, but for me, I look at the world kind of through humorous eyes a lot, and I try to kind of find funny stuff out there.
You have to laugh at it, yeah.
And well, the thing was, everyone was raising a big fuss because they'd said, all right, well, we're going to be raising taxes on beer, so it's going to be about $2 more a case. Suddenly, my God, you'd have thought that we caught their house on fire. Now, they didn't mind that the gas prices were through the roof or the...
Right, but boy, you're messing with their serious liquid.
Right, you're messing with the beer. And, you're talking... that kind of reminded me of what you were saying there, because it's true. You've got this circle of people that are just constantly on this circle. And I like to think of us as humans to travel all circles at all times. As a human, you kind of explore the universe, but some people get on one ring and they kind of stay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an explorer. I like seeing what's out there. I'm very curious, and I like poking. And, it gets you the occasional swipe from a bear, but even that can be a learning experience. So,
yeah. As a matter of fact, you learn some of your best lessons when you get swiped by that bear.
From failures, yes. You don't learn much from success. That's quite true. Always endeavor to fail and then get up again. You
hate it when it happens. As a human, we're like, God, why do I keep getting kicked down? I'm tired of this,
Right.
But then you kind of go, well, I just learned a new way to succeed.
And I won't do that one again. Yeah. Yeah. I've got a number of those in my life. As I say, I'm a very bad employee and don't do a lot of things well. So it took me a while to find some level of talent, but I sure learned a lot along the way.
In the sense of the word that you're not just a mindless drone that comes in and punches a time clock and goes home. Yeah,
but that's what they want. That's why
exactly
I am a bad employee. I'm always causing problems, and this sort of thing. So, no, I'm quite serious. I was a very bad employee. I was frequently talented, and they could put me to good use, but I never lasted long.
That's it, yeah. And, I think a lot of people out there have that issue going on right now, especially, like you said, with the unfolding universe and the people that are becoming more and more in tune with everything going on. I think we're on the verge of something. And, I had a woman on talking about the age of Aquarius and all that. And
sure, it already happened. We're moved into it. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what she said. We have moved into the age of Aquarius, and now it's a transformation time, and our people are
going to... Sure, as of February of this year, I believe. February 14th, Valentine's Day, yeah. Emotion is just yet another form of the energetic being manifesting itself.
Right.
And, emotions are extremely powerful. That's where all energy at the mind level comes from. Because imagine what you would be without emotion. You'd be on the order of a drone. You might be able to go out and pick up a few things, but you'd never be able to climb a mountain. You'd never be able to defend civilization, compose a great novel, explore the ocean. It's passion that causes all of these sorts of things to happen. And at its root, you're dealing with, some very basic emotional responses to the manifesting universe. Tracking those, we get a real sense of what's going on, and it's actually, to a certain extent, it can be very depressing work, because a great deal of the psychicness is tinged by conscious thoughts of doom and gloom, which we need to filter out as we go through and do our work and not get too caught up in that. And at the same time, we come across, for instance, we had maybe 7-month warning linguistically before the Banda Aceh quake. We didn't know there was going to be an earthquake in Banda Aceh. What we got was linguistics that led to the prediction that 300,000 people were going to be kicked back to killed, and the country they were in was going to be kicked back to a previous age. Now, we knew it was likely going to be from an earthquake, and so we made that